Hi, I'm Pratap Singh Gaikwad and welcome to the Buggy Khana Jodhpur edition. Today I come to you from the iconic Umaid Bhawan Palace and I have two very special cars to show you. So thank you very much, Ricky, for being here and doing this with me. So let us begin by, understanding a bit on the history of this car. When did she come? Who did she come for? And till now, what has transpired?
So, Babji's father, late His Highness, 1947, imported this Buick,
Right.
which is a very limited edition. A lot of features at that time. It's got electric roof,
Right.
air conditioning, and he taught the Rajmat Sahab, Babji's mother,
Right.
to drive
Wow.
in this car. So it became hers for a while.
Right.
Babji loved this car, and then subsequently it went to Yuvraj,
Right.
and Yuvraj is car now.
Right.
It is now his car. So about the car, 8 cylinders with all the features,
Right.
it's called the Yacht, and it's called a boat also.
So I think
it just speaks about, I think, the suspension
Right.
and the smooth ride.
I think it's the scale of it also. It's the size of it, the fact that the roof comes off. So like a yacht again, you get the feeling of the cool breeze in your hair. Like you mentioned, the special features of the electric hood,
Yes,
which at that point of time
was exceptional.
was, top of the line
Right.
kind of stuff. Very, very special
And air
stuff.
conditioning. I mean, houses didn't have air conditioning.
Right.
So,
Wow.
it was quite something.
That's amazing. And for Rajmata Sahab to learn driving
Yes.
in this car.
Yes.
And so,
So she
She-
learned how
she-
to drive in this car,
right,
and she drove this car,
right,
and subsequently Babji continued to drive it.
right.
Like I mentioned, that small episode of here to Sardar Samand in half an hour is a challenge for modern cars today. it's a bit of a task.
So
But-
Babji has a bit of a heavy foot, do you think?
No,
It's just the traffic was
they're
clear.
just blessed with natural skills.
And sublime timing.
I think it came. Umaid Singh Saab had a flying club,
Ji.
Jodhpur Flying Club.
Yeah.
All his children learned how to fly, including Babji's father
Yeah.
and late Maharani Baroda.
Right, my aunt.
Yes, he used to fly.
Yes. In fact, I came across a very amazing article that she, in fact, flew solo after 5 hours of training.
She could drive, and the girls in her car. So
Yeah.
she was driving, and all the girls used to be, including my mummy,
Yeah.
used to be in her car,
Right.
and they were having a blast, not knowing the risks that were involved.
Yeah. So this car is sort of passed down through generations as well. Right?
Three at
generations. Right.
Which is I'm sure it'll continue down the line.
Correct. And it's also because, like you were mentioning, even though she's such a top of the line car, she came with all these features, she still came with a lot of reliability, is what you were saying. So, whenever
Yes.
someone wanted to use her, she would be
Uses-
ready.
Absolutely.
So that
Yeah.
headache of, okay, I want to, but sorry, she's not starting, etc. She didn't have any of those issues.
I came in here, she was parked today,
Right.
and he was थोड़ी गर्म हो गई. ऐसे तुमने क्या किया? मैं नीचे ले गया, ऊपर ले गया. मैंने क्यों?
Right.
He gave her the whole spin
Yeah.
and brought her back here. I said, just for the photograph. Yeah.
Yeah, but she did that
She did
comfortably.
Today.
Right. So that's great. And also to see her, in this sort of original condition. And what I really love about it is that she's not that overly restored car, right? She's got,
Don't think she's been touched.
correct. And she's got, the little marks.
Yeah.
Someone will remember that, I know what happened over there.
Yeah, I think I did that.
That was you. that, I think I can believe that.
No, not me. I mean, someone said.
So, you know, I think that's what sort of really makes her special, even for someone like me to, you know, look at her, an already special car, and to see, you know, how close she was to the family and still remains. And, you know, like good wine, with time, it's looking even more elegant. You know, the whole shape.
I think so. Yeah.
It's just, I mean, it's just looking absolutely stunning. Absolutely love it. Are there any other features in this car? I mean, we talked about the air conditioning, which again, at that point of time was a super luxury item.
Standard features of radio, air conditioning, this was all there.
Right.
I think there are some other features. Oh, sorry, this is for the electric hood to come. Okay,
Right.
sorry.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine.
And you mentioned that she's a manual
Yes.
with 3 gears
3 gears,
and reverse.
1 reverse.
Right? Oh, nice. That's for the radio, is it?
Yeah.
And that's another amazing thing, because she's got, you know, the dashboard also has not been molested in any way. You know, no one is attached.
So difficult to replace these guys, you know,
Yeah.
the meters.
Correct.
And if they're all working, I mean, thank you.
Yeah.
I used to always be fascinated with these buttons. I thought, you know, they sort of remind you of you press something and something is going to happen. But actually it did. You press something, some air conditioning came on.
So you mentioned that you also, as a young boy.
No, I used to see Babji. I might have sat in the back seat. I
Right.
don't remember a long ride in this car, but I do remember seeing Babji as a flamboyant young teenager.
Yeah.
That was his car.
Yeah. Must have been quite a sight.
Yeah. Elvis Presley.
Absolutely.
That was it.
Wow. Something about the engine. You mentioned it's a V8.
It's a V8.
Right.
We can open it. It has 2 flaps. I mean, you
Right.
can open it from this side, and you can open it from that side.
Okay. So either side you're at, you can.
Yeah. So you have this little guy who comes and holds it here. You can
Yeah.
do the same thing on the other side.
Okay. But that's the
What
beauty,
it-
I think, of the
what was?
those American engines. Also, they were so simple and straightforward.
Straight.
Right.
Straight.
And therefore,
It's-
again, to work on, they were simple and they were hardy.
I think she served well. That must be the air conditioning.
It's a massive, massive bonnet. If I've
And
ever
you
seen
do
one.
the same thing on the
Yeah.
other side.
Wow. Really is gorgeous. And according to you, most probably the paint is also original. The combination is something.
I'm pretty certain.
You've always seen her in
I've
this colour.
always seen. I mean, my memory goes back to the early 60s.
Right.
So if late designers changed something, I don't know. But I've always seen this car like this.
Right. And also, we were discussing that, Maharaja and the family have a large collection of special cars with Rolls Royces, etc.
Yeah.
But the fact that we have, and you have decided to bring her out, also speaks volumes, of her having a special place in the hearts of the family, right? And the fact that they would always sort of veer more towards her whenever they wanted to use a car, etc.
It's just been, I've seen it, over the years. I mean, it's there. It's always there. The other cars are there.
Right.
It's not that they are not there.
No, correct, yeah.
But somehow she seems to be.
It pushes a way forward.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, the Rolls, the Phantom 1,
Yeah.
Babji now uses that.
Right.
Because now this is Yuvraj's car.
Right.
And that's a beautiful car.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's the features in that car are something else.
Yeah. But also, these cars being in Jodhpur, you're lucky because, the climate is also such that they do get preserved. In Bombay, where I live, I mean, rust is, it's our biggest enemy.
Biggest, yes.
And
sea, salt water and that.
yeah.
But here's a feature that I might share with you. Whilst rust and sea breeze, we have dust storms.
Yeah.
Okay, so what if we, the garages that were built for these cars,
Ji.
you had a metal grill
Right.
and there was water.
Hmm.
So any dust storm would catch the dust.
Okay. Wow.
So it wouldn't go in.
Right.
But imagine sandstorm. It's not dust, it's sand.
Correct.
There's lubrication,
Hmm.
right? Get stuck.
Hmm.
And you use the car.
Hmm.
You're sandpapering the hell out of,
Yeah, that's true.
of everything.
That's true.
Because
Yeah.
sand will stick
Yeah.
to grease.
Yeah.
So they got this ingenious idea. Even the way the cars are parked,
Hmm.
they are sort of facing in a direction which is not summer south. I mean, summer winds southerly.
Hmm. Hmm.
So they've deliberately faced them to the north,
Hmm.
where you get the least amount of effect of sandstorms coming in.
Right.
And then you have this channel, which is filled with water.
Right.
And then you shut the gate or the shutter.
Hmm.
And so if there is a sandstorm, the
Right.
dust gets collected.
Wow.
So
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
So that's how the garages were.
Correct.
Now you can put a kaach and
Yeah, yeah.
air condition the car if you want.
But that's simple stuff. No? There's a lot of thought process behind that also, what they did in those days.
But
and
it worked. It
And it
worked.
worked.
It
Yeah,
worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, our channel is called Buggy Khana.
Right.
And I've named it because in Baroda also,
Yeah.
where we kept our cars and carriages, was
Yeah.
at the Buggy Khana.
Right.
And when I flew into Jodhpur the other day, I did see Buggy Khana signage.
Bilkul. That is because right there is Ratnada Palace.
Right.
That was the original palace before Umaid Bhawan was built.
Hmm.
The royal family stayed there,
Right.
right? And all the viceroys and everyone was actually entertained over there.
Hmm.
And so it's a huge complex.
Hmm.
And so there is a Buggy Khana there.
Okay.
Huh.
Right.
And now it is with the army
Okay.
because now it's a lab,
Right.
defense laboratory.
Hmm.
But earlier there was a race course, a palace,
Right.
the Buggy Khana, and whatever went with the regalia of an old palace. It's just much later that they came here.
Right. So last question on this. I mean, coming to, again, we also had very close relationships with the people who looked after our cars. Because,
Right.
I mean, cars were important to us.
Because
So, trusting people to drive them,
yeah,
look after them as part of our team members was important. And even I can remember, the drivers, the good drivers who were with us, and how, I trust some drivers to drive some cars and I do not. So what was the setup over here vis-a-vis that sort of a
I have
team?
seen drivers being here for my entire life. They never changed.
Yeah,
They obviously, which meant that they were happy.
yeah,
The royal family was content with them
correct.
and well taken care of.
Yeah.
Completely safe.
And they looked after the cars also. So give them credit
Oh.
also for taking care of these.
मेरी गाड़ी
You know?
मैं तो
Yeah, yeah. Because I remember even we have great stories of drivers. When I was young, we used to have a red Impala. And
Right.
there used to be only one driver called John who used to drive it. And he was not even 5 feet tall. So every time he used to press the brake, John used to sort of disappear into the footwell. But he was the only guy who used to drive that car.
And only your family could accept it.
Yeah, true.
No one else would have said, no,
Yeah.
I want the drive.
True. So great. So thank you for that and telling us about this car. There's one more car in the collection which has sort of grabbed my attention for a few reasons. One is obviously viewers and many people might not think, in the company of Rolls Royces, Cadillacs, etc. That why am I requesting for to have a look at this? But it's something that has sort of drawn me towards it. Plus, I'm in Bombay. I'm a member of a Mercedes club,
Okay.
which is a very vibrant club, and they love their 1, 2, 3 series and all their classic Mercedes.
Right.
So I thought that it would be nice for me to talk about that car. One, to understand that how she holds her own in this great company, but also for my fellow club members. So if we could have a look at that car next. So thank you for bringing her out. This, from what I've been told, is a 1979 200D.
Right.
So, again, a quick bit of history about why this car is here.
Babji bought this in Trinidad Tobago when he was the High Commissioner. So he was there for a year or three. I'm not too sure about his stint over there.
Right.
But it must have been a couple of years, or maybe 3 years.
Right.
But I do know that Bajilal Sir and Yuvraj Sir and Maharani, it was a runabout car in Trinidad.
Right.
And so once it came back, it was Babji's car.
Right.
And I think there are fond memories that I know where, the first time the royal family was living outside the palace, and were in Trinidad Tobago with him being the High Commissioner, huge Indian diaspora.
Right.
So he was still the number one citizen as far as the Indian
Right.
diaspora went.
Yeah.
And so he still was the king. So, but this was his runabout car.
Right.
And once he came back, it was a frequent sort of a car to take from here to Delhi if one wanted to.
Right. So, I mean, I can see that because, I mean, one is the mileage. She's done a lot of mileage, over 100,000,
Right.
which is great to see that,
Yeah.
she has been used.
Right.
So that itself brings about the proximity because, she's been used for various things. The fact that you mentioned that, again, what I like about this is that this was the car which was with them when they were home away from home
Right.
in a different country.
Right.
And for Yuvraj Saab and Shivranjani, etc., as they are now growing up, they will have special memories attached to this. So that also pulls this car further forward in time, which is again what I really, really like. And again, she's, when I looked at her, she's still so original and true to form is the word.
I think so, for sure.
And these cars also globally and generally have a reputation of being like tanks. I mean, these are
Okay.
like what you would call a Land Cruiser in Jeeps, which are tough and hardy and keep going. This is very similar to that. And I know again from being part of the Mercedes group
Right.
that these cars are also becoming extremely in demand now. And she like the Buick is something that's going to keep running, right? And therefore I think she's going to be with the family and they're going to continue to enjoy her for a long period of time. Anything else? Any other stories that
Yeah, I was just mentioning that the trips that Babji would take, I happened to be a co-passenger with him.
Yeah.
Now, Babji could have taken a driver, but he drove himself.
Right.
So that speaks about him driving from Jodhpur to Delhi.
Correct.
And a fine gentleman called Ratanji, who was Babji's person, who was in the back seat. Babji was driving. I was co-passenger with him. We arrived in Delhi around after when the lights were on, and some cops stopped the car. So Babji puts the cards down, and as a young guy, I said, His Highness, should I? What? Nothing. But it was Ratnaji was there.
Right.
So he gives them whatever papers they wanted, and then carry on. He said, waste of time. So I told him, I said, how many Mercedeses are there coming in from Rajasthan into Delhi? And look at the number. Why are they stopping you? He said, that's what I meant. There's a waste of time. They should be doing something else.
Very true. But that's great. Like you mentioned that he himself used to drive, right?
He himself used to drive.
Yeah. So that again, speaks volumes about that there is that passion for the car. It's not just that it's a mode of transportation. The fact that he is driving himself, and enjoying that. So
Break in Jaipur,
Right.
but just a lunch break or something.
right.
But yes, and I mean, we just went through and didn't think much of it. Air conditioning, it was luxury. We didn't have air conditioning cars.
Yeah. Wow. So that's great. thank you very much
My
for this.
My
You know,
pleasure.
I enjoyed being in Jodhpur, enjoyed
Yeah.
being here. It's amazing to, you know, look at these cars so closely, and really enjoyed your company and having this conversation with you.
You've been very kind. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.